Good evening and welcome to Apex eSports League. I'm JT and tonight I'm bringing you round 2 of the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship, and round 2 sees us at Virginia International Raceway in the full course layout. So the session tonight, we've got 10 minutes of practice, a 10-minute qualifying and a 40-minute race. Weather conditions are partly cloudy, time of day in the afternoon, and cars capped at 47% fuel mean they will need to stop to be able to finish out the race. Our standings after the opening round, we have Blake Wallboys leading the championship on 260 points, followed by Ricky Hyde in P2 and Tim Mulford in P3. And those standings come about after the run at Motorsport Arena Oschersleben GP, and it was a clean sweep that was made from the opening round, which goes to Blake Wallboys. And then also on the podium, Ricky Hyde and Tim Mulford. Our drivers all competing to be able to win, courtesy of our partners at Next Level Racing and Next Level Racing HF8 Haptic Gaming Pad. So a fantastic prize up for grabs for our series champion. So then when they get crowned the series champion after the 10 rounds, they'll be able to grab themselves and claim home to this great prize. And over and checking out the track. So 5.22 kilometers for this layout. Currently 23 degrees, 25% humidity, and still remaining partly cloudy. So we'll jump over trackside and see how the drivers are going. A few drivers out on the field at the moment, 16 of them getting a time on the board. And thanks, Rusty. Thanks for tuning in. First times coming in through from the practice are coming in pretty quick. Seeing current fastest of 149 flat. It is a rather difficult track. Thanks for the follow, Retribution. Nicholas Martin going for a move through the chicane as well. Nicely done. That's going to be tricky when we got large field around a small track like this. It's rather tight and constricted through most of it. So it's quite easy to be able to get held up, so it's going to be rather difficult in the qualifying session to only use 10 minutes and then get that timed lap in. So more fast times coming through, down into the 48s now. Where's Simo? Simo's got a bit of a foot injury, so unable to drive at the moment. No worries, Simo. We'll miss you out on track while you're nursing the sore foot. To our series leader, Blake Wallboys. On the conservative first time set in. Quarter of a way around. So we should be able to see another time be set. And I love the paint there, Greg, as well. One's been busy making a car. Movement. Mick Clifton coming through and setting a 147.9. We do have a couple of new drivers that will be joining us. And registrations getting set in after round one. Thanks for the follow, Evie Dragon. Oh, cheers. Simo, if you can pass that on to him. Session concluding. Only 10 minutes on the clock to get that precious qualifying lap in. There's points on the line for it as well. We'll jump on board for a hot lap around Virginia International Raceway as well. Hey, Sami, thanks for jumping on the stream. Almost now on their hot laps. Oh, awesome, Tommy. Glad your friends out on track and you're there to support them. Alright, first time's coming through. 159.019 from Tim Mulford. McClifton coming in with some good pace still. Be nice if we can pull off another 47 in the qualifying session. It was, sorry, 57 should I say. And Collett comes through with a 58.8. John Way just having an off, and that'd really be a timed lap by the looks of it. Yeah, 0.2 of a way through the timed lap. Unfortunate. Jump aboard for a hot lap around. Hopefully Tim Mulford will be on for another lap out. Dwayne Dwell just comes through with pole. Now riding on board with Tim Mulford. He's going to park it up, of course he will. As will Mick Clifton. I'm not sure if they're all diving off. We'll see if we can get someone who might be able to stay out for a lap. All the others that are almost close to starting the lap. McCulloch's going to be pretty close to commencing that, so we'll jump across and on the inside line here as he's looking to get around some other traffic. And down into turn one, rather sharp hairpin. Good opportunities for passing on this hairpin though, nice and wide. Switchback works very nicely there. Oh, he's going to be turned in on. Lap won't count, but it doesn't look like any damage. And into the chicane's a nice line through that first section. We're going to be able to plant the car straight down the guts. And a nice run, utilising all the curves. Some fantastic use of the full length of track around Virginia. Favour that throttle over the crest. Going into a double apex right-hander. Tad wide, striking that inside curb. And down along the back straight. Tuck it over to the right. And an easy spot to overshoot that right-hander. Lots of drivers will likely make that error over the first few laps. Practicing that pit entry. That's Gordon McCulloch taking us around Virginia International Raceway. Not much luck for it. A fair bit going on while we're on board for the lap with Fanfuni Visma grabbing hold of pole position. .46.7 is the time to beat. Blake Warboys very close on that time. There's less than a tenth between the two. Clifton setting similar pace, who managed to get the 47 out of the qualifying session as well. Only a couple of minutes left to go. Oh, that's Bunt that's just had it off. A couple of drivers not yet getting a time on the board. Piccoli and Tan yet to get a time on. And Tommy do oval racing sometimes, not usually as the full series. We do usually have it in mini series. Usually do a different class of racing each series. So we did just come out of GT Freeze, the last one. Visma still holding pole with only half a minute on the clock remaining. Warboys still out on track to be able to potentially sneak through. There wasn't a whole lot different in the times before. Only going to shave less than a tenth off that previous qualifying time. Ooh, that's a blown engine we hear in the background. Sam Tucker just makes some movement up into P14. Blake Fitz finishing currently in P9. Warboy still out on track. The pole will be taken. It's not much left to shave off that previous best. That lap of 47.02. Nicholas Martin getting that car to lift over those curbs. There's Mark cheering on teammate. Thanks for joining us. And we'll take a look at those qualifying results now. Qualifying for round 2 of the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship at Virginia International Raceway. We have on pole position is Anthony Visma, and then the rest of the grid down to P18 is then Blake Warboys, Tim Mulford, Mick Clifton, Ricky Hyde, Stephen Banks, Andrew Rushworth, Harry Dodds, Blake Fitz, Cooper Cotterill, Michael Schroeder, Blake Urquhart, Jacob Trainer, Sam Tucker, Jason Schooler, Nicholas Martin, Marty Hughes, and Jamie Tung. Wait for it to get across to the next few, all the way down to P32. So we do have David Simmons showing there, but he's just watching. He was in the chat earlier. So that would be why no time set for him. Colin Bentan not being able to get a time in. There's only a few drivers remaining to grid. Quite a good stagger in the starting grid. It's a little bit of a safety net for pole sitter to be able to move across to that left-hand side and to get the optimum line down through that first corner. Drivers ready to see green.
Green flag, green flag.
And away we go. Oh, a big movement there from Tim Mulford to sneak all the way through, splitting Warboys and Visma. Boys just sneaks in front of Visma. We're almost going to be too wide. Oh, we've got a little bit of a sneaky position going on between Hyde. A few drivers 2 by 2 going down that back straight. Looks like a very tidy start to the race. Only 2 cars showing any contact at all. More boys goes for the move. Very close between the two. That's unlucky, Tommy. So you can always watch back on our streams for the video on demand, or it will be on YouTube as well. And Warboys goes for another move. Mulford covers. Forcing a defensive line to the inside for turn 1. We try a little switchback move go here. Visma's going to sneak in. Yeah, you can see Warboys was trying to set up that move, but Visma got in the way. A few cars gone off. And Tan coming in. Slamming those cars down. Looking back from Tim Mulford. I'm seeing Warboys starting to try and plot some moves. He was on a similar position attempting a pass, same corner. He's going to have to try and stick the nose in more before Mulford can sneak over. While this is going on, we also have Visma and Hyde contesting. 2 by 2 down the turn 1. McClifton in amongst the mix here as well. And it's too wide again. And the pass gets done by Warboys. You saw that just off in the distance. Oh, big lift. Ricky High closing in on Mulford now. Hyde not having Visma right on the tail to contest with. Try and focus on that slipstream. Close in on the top 2. Oh, that looked like a big crash and an instant tow by the look of it. I think there may have been airborne drivers who just caught some more slips. It's in that section where you can easily go off for a run. On approach to lap traffic now. Currently on lap 4. See you, Tommy. Ooh, a little bit of a slip. I think that's Jacob Trainer's car. The chase for the lead. Oh, is that a slowdown having to be shaved off for Warboys? Gets off the line, stomps the brake, and then tucks straight back in. The race lead given back to Tim Mulford. Change for P2 and P3 with Hyde and Visma slipping through as Warboys tucks back into P4. It happened with Tan. Let's see if there's incident or anything detected. Oh, and off. The driver gets caught out by that corner. School looking to try and get to the inside of Koenig. Bit too much speed for both. Gets that tail and that slip. Oh, still recovering there for Schooler. Lenazik. Just manages to move aside. A little bit of a shuffle going on there. Stephen Banks looking to move up a spot here. The train of the PR cars. With Banks, Fitz and Dodds. Schooler trying to make a way around Kurt Heath. Just sneaks back in line. Slipstream is trying to be broke here. Ryan Bunt's going to have a position taken here. And stuck to that outside, maybe 2 spots. Tongue sneaking, I don't think so. Marnie Hughes moves up a spot. Mulford pushing ahead still. Line's holding on, but that gap is starting to grow between the two. We're 10 minutes in. Currently lap 6. So not quite within pit window opportunities here. Oh, there's disaster going on. I'm sure that's a pop of the gearbox. Shifted down a little too early. Good little battle going on between these two drivers. Jacob Trainer, Ryan Bunt and Jamie Tung. Been having a good little clean fight. Blake Urquhart really struggling with that car. Trying to get that back to the pits. The front of Jacob Trainer's Mustang on the hunt for Ryan Bunt and the Commodore. Visma closing in very quickly now for Ricky Hyde. He's already got the nose in. A little bit of a slip for Hyde. Well, that cost him a spot. Even Warboy is looking to try and sneak through here. Visma got checked up for a couple little slips. Oh, big jump from Visma's car. And that car fired straight down the middle. And then the pack here now, bunching up to the race leader as well. So as we're approaching around that pit window, one of them decide to go for an undercut here. Back from P4 with Blake Warboys. Looking at this forming battle for race lead. And Visma is sneaking up alongside Hyde. Oh, that was so fast. Just sneaks in. Fiend. And off for McCulloch. Gonna fall back here on a few spots, just trying to recover. Still close positions between Heath and Lenarchik. Contest for P21. Right, here's in P11 as Jacob Trainer and Ryan Bunt closing in pretty fast. No drivers yet going into the pits. Cam with Mulford. You see Visma in the mirrors behind. And still even P5 onwards, not too far behind this battle. There's only just under 3 seconds between P1 and P5 with Stephen Banks currently. And tucking in behind Banks. We still have the train of the PR cars. Fitz and Dogs, very quick. And it was a quick snap decision from Fitz. Ricky Hyde's coming in the pits. Mick Clifton also in the pits. Mulford still has Visma on his tail. And we could choice to try and duck into the pit soon. It's going to be all about trying to just perfectly time it with the rest of the traffic on the tracks there, and counting a fair bit now. They could easily lose the position and some big time. Oh, a little bit of a tuck in there for Warboys to get move over Visma. There may have been some slowdown being shaved off. We got a couple more drivers coming in. Bentan and Lenarchik now coming in. And come to the pits now. Mulford, Visma and Dodds all in the pits. So Dodd's not too far behind. The driver's now coming into the pits. Warboys stays out on track, as does Banks. He doesn't get held up with some of the slower traffic. They may be able to get a little bit of a closer in, getting to Warboys. weird little bit of a connection interruption we just had. The stream stayed live. We didn't get disconnected from the server. Ricky Hyde ended up in front of Mulford in the end. Through the pit stop. Which is rather interesting. The total pit lane time 43.97 for Hyde and 43.43 for Mulford. Banks into the pits now. Warboys stays out on track. Hyde, first of the leading pack to actually come into the pits. Hyde and Mulford can almost work together. They could potentially close in enough to be able to pit Warboys as he pits. To lap 13, 23 minutes of 40 at the moment. So within pit window range. Most of the field having come in and taken the forced stop for fuel. Wisma tucking in behind Hyde and Mulford. And slipstream trying to be broken by Hyde. It may have just cost some speed. As Visma closing pretty quickly on the pair. Sitting back and just holding that racing line. Warboys and Rushworth peel in. Warboys has been released. This will be a race lead change. Ricky Hyde in race lead, but Mulford's going for it. Through turn one, he's on the outside. That's going to leave him stuck with Warboys to take the spot. That's going to be a 1-2 taken away for Warboys, is it? Hyde's got the inside. A little bit of a touch. Mulford just trying to look to sneak in there. There was a little bit of a slip from Hyde. Traffic. Fenton up ahead. Warboys giving a flash of the lights. Oh, it was Wade's car. It was off to the side. Drivers sneak through. It's a very close run here. P1 through to 7, only 4.3 gap. Dwayne Duell closing into Stephen Koenig. There's also Kurt Heath tucking in behind. And Duell get to keep the pass here. Nicely done by Duell. Mulford looking to take P2. Hyde's not going to let up easy. Oh, that's a netcoat potentially. So the rear started to slide, and then it looked like a little tap. That's a very hard corner to try and hold on that inner line. But car all safe to continue racing for Hyde. And Stephen Banks looking to come and take P2 from Mulford. Banks has had a pretty good run out of this race. He's just been closing that gap in. Banks drops back a little bit. Oh, lock for Hyde. He's lost that momentum and that rhythm now. Schrader just exiting pits. Clifton and Hayes going for a fight. The inside line takes the pass for Clifton. Showing us 2 pit stops for Clifton. Charles fighting pretty well up towards the front end, so must have been some repairs needing to tend to. Big lose there, kept the car safe though. That could have potentially turned into incident. Fitz not making this easy for Visma. I'm trying to get back in this as well. Getting a fair few cars bunching up at the moment. Race leaders pushing ahead though. Only 4.5 seconds for boys. Braking error there. So I was side by side with Martin for a little bit. I did have to try and break out of that, and I could have gone bad. Jamie Tongue staying in the slip of Marty Hughes. Gonna have a nice line down in the turn one. And on the back quarter of the race now, 53 minutes on the clock. Only 5 to 6 laps left in the race. Oh, I think that was just a toe for Schroeder. Not sure what the accident was. Looked to be an off track. I don't think there was contact. Seen an error for Ricky Hyde. Fair gaps forming between our race leaders now. Blake Warboys holding 4.5 seconds over P2 Tim Mulford. Flat traffic. Coley moving to the side. There's been an off for Duell. And our leaders making their way around. And Fitz has just had to come into the pits. Robbie Bradbury trying to look for an opening around Tucker. Oh, is that a bit of tyre dipping potentially. He was just trying to get as much track as can. Once you go for a move, it wasn't quite there, but then pressure in the end. Getting to Chuckle opens the door. Hey, Rusty. Yeah, Visma, Jim's mowing. We only just start seeing those come back through after I lost my app. Yeah, Ricasa won't be happy at all, I think. Rusty. He's pretty frustrated with how it's going. On the shot for a podium. $37 now on the clock. I think the last couple of laps coming about now. Still a few drivers holding those gaps about to potentially have a battle in his last laps. Oh, position there for Tung with Hughes sliding out of the corner. Thought of a crash with Luckhurst and Hayes. And they're both just coming off. Not sure if there was contact between the two. Marty Hughes having to make second journey into the pits. This could potentially be for incident points though as well, unless miscalculated fuel. I don't think there was any contact for Hughes. You know, the car's being lifted. Once the drivers reach that 17 incident points, they do have to come down pit lane for a penalty. There was some having to be served last week. Let's run down the hill by War Boys. And they push that gap out now to nearly 6.5 seconds. Really pulling away in this back part of the race. Alford about 1.5 seconds ahead of Banks, but not in the clear yet. There should be white flag as well. Four boys only about 0.3 of the way around this lap with 40 seconds left on the clock. Not too many of these gaps now. Oh, nearly Koenig goes for a move. Always flying ahead, nearly pushing out to 8 seconds. We could potentially see 8-second lead by the time the rest of this lap's done. Only 0.2 of a lap remaining. Checkered flag out for Blake Warboys. Playing a second win in the series. After a great start. It's not another clean sweep. At least another race win. It could potentially be the fastest lap as well. I think a 47.18 is the time that would be to Warboys. There's an extra 10 championship points. Tim Mulford, P2. Stephen Banks, P3. Rushworth, P7. Bradbury, P8. Sam Tuckett across P9. And top 10 will be Jamie Tongue. Nice, the drivers across the line. I think it's just P12 through to 16. Marty Hughes and Stephen Luckhurst across the line. Flash of the lights from Luckhurst. Where he's finished. There we are. Race results. And all boys in the car back around. So congratulations to all our drivers and especially our podium finishers. We'll take a look at these results. And race winner for the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship Round 2 at Virginia is Blake Warboys. And also on the podium, P2 is Tim Mulford and P3 Stephen Banks. And then the rest of our standings down the P18 we have then is Harry Dodds, Anthony Visma, Ricky Hyde, Andrew Rushworth, Robbie Bradbury, Sam Tucker, Jamie Tongue, Jacob Trainer, Jason Schooler, Jeff Arnold, Mick Clifton, Marty Hughes, Stephen Luckhurst, Blake Fitz, and Dwayne Dwell. Then down through to P32 on the screen now. We'll see if our drivers are keen for a chat as well. We do have Stephen Banks and Tim Mulford waiting by. I'm doing burnout near pit lane. And congratulations, guys, on a great race.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Thanks, JT.
No worries. It looked like it was pretty good fun out there. You were having a good chase down for a while towards the back end.
I was just chasing the whole time, to be honest. Yeah, that was a good fun race.
I think me and Ricky spent too much battling after those pit stops.
I think
Otherwise, we would have got past Blake, and then I think it would have been on for all money, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it was really close by the time you got back out on track and all the pit stops were done. It was amazing just how much that gap closed in.
Yeah, no, that certainly is what helped me out, was them battling, and I could then get back up. And yeah, unfortunately for Ricky, and I think I saw Anthony go off as well, but I didn't really have the pace to be of those guys, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, just with them battling and making mistakes, I was able to take advantage, and that's kind of all I needed.
Yeah, and that definitely paid off as well. And look, and you had good bunch of your drivers following you at one stage as well. There was a good train of the PER cars. I thought you were going to close in and go for a few extra spots.
There was a bit going on there. We had a few pelicans at each other, trying to get a few spots here and there, but I think overall it's good to have the team out there, good team out, turn out, good to support the league.
Yep, much appreciated. And then looking pretty good at the start there with that pole, Tim.
Yeah, both the guys in front of me bogged their starts, and I just split the two of them. I thought, oh, here we go, it's on now. Cool. I was hoping they'd battle a bit more, but no, it was good. And then a couple were making mistakes, and I knew once Blake could get half a car length up beside me, I knew there was no stopping. So then I just tried tucking him behind him and saving a bit of fuel.
Yeah, and you managed to be able to hold on for quite a while and save that. Is it difficult to try and conserve too much around Virginia?
It's not hard. It's just I'm still getting used to the timed races because lap races easy, but time races depending on lap times, like I do it to be roughly 22, 23, but then you like if a safety car happens or if a pit stop takes a bit longer. So I actually went for 23 and then added a bit more fuel just to cover because I thought once Blake got out in front, then obviously the lap times would drop. But
Yeah.
no, it was pretty good. It's not too hard to save fuel around here, even if you are just out in front. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think my quickest lap was actually behind Tim, saving fuel.
That's not
Only
bad.
I think I had about 0.4 of a litre when I crossed the line, so I had to save a little bit. But yeah, just being in the tow and like you can actually just lift off and coast off the straights and save quite a bit just doing that. And
Yeah, and you didn't get
It is a
held
very
up
easy
too
track
much
to
either,
defend.
did yous? With lap
No,
traffic in the end.
my lap
there was a
before
couple.
hitting was terrible with behind a lap with a lap car, but I think I lost 2.5 seconds just on the in lap. That's
Yeah.
why I took the gamble and only put 22 laps in, because if I didn't do that, I was gonna be well behind the guys in front, possibly even lose spots to Harry and Blake at the time.
Yeah.
It is hard as a lap car here, but because there's only really a couple of easy places, because it is such an easy track to defend.
Yeah, once you just get in that line, there's not really anything else through most of those
Yeah, and-
corners.
And at the end of the day, they got their race too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Race
exactly.
control scoring has ended.
There's only probably a few certain sections, like the straightish sections, but once you're behind through those S's, you've just got to basically accept you're going to be behind them and then have to wait till you get, to a spot where you can pass them. But there's quite a lot of spots around the track where it's not really that they can just pull over and let you pass. So you either think, ahead, I'm going to take advantage on this straight before we get to the curves or things like that. But yeah, it's a difficult one at times. But they did well.
Actually, it was getting a little bit choked up, a little bit just before he's peeled off into the pits, and I did notice a few other drivers getting held up back in and decided to go for the earlier stops. So I wasn't too sure if you were going to potentially be in the same circumstance, but at least you managed to pull through and take podium.
Yeah, no, it was good, and in a way, the kind of lap traffic got Ricky. That's what got me up to get beside him up that back straight there. It's just unfortunate side by side through that section can work, but really the outside line's dirty, and I think poor Ricky just turned it a little bit too early. He hadn't quite cleared me yet, and once you lose it there, it's it takes a while to get back on.
Yeah, you lose that time.
And that's the thing, like I said, we had to pit when we did because, you get stuck in traffic and then you're just going to bleed time. Like, Blake lost a fair bit of time, I think, on those last few laps before he pitted.
Yeah, the traffic was starting to slow it up a bit then, so it was a good time to jump in.
Yeah, it was certainly a mistake on my behalf not pitting when you guys pitted, because that lap we had 2 or 3 cars we came across, and I think that was the lap for 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely the smarter option doing what Tim did.
And that could have potentially made things very different as well when you're looking at the finishing times. So it's
I was trying to push Ricky once we come out of the pits, but not push him to overtake him, just push him because I thought once we get past Blake after the pit stop, then we can sort it all out. But I think he was trying to think I was overtaking him, so it was sort of like he was going to defend, which is fine, you can defend it. But yeah, that sort of slowed us down a bit, and then I don't know how we all made it because at one point there was 4 of us at turn 1 when Blake came out of the pits. We all took a different line.
yeah,
I
definitely.
don't know how you guys all got through that.
I think the fact that we all took a separate line, so we all sort of slid out in different directions, that's the only thing that saved us.
Oh, it's good watching from behind anyway.
Yeah, nice and impressive. A little bit of synchronized slips there and then get through it. So worked well.
Yeah, definitely.
But congratulations on the solid drive tonight as well, and all the best of luck with Road Atlanta next week. So it's another good fast track, a little bit more space, but still with its technical challenges as well.
Yeah, what is it with these tracks and like miles of runoff? Give me concrete walls any day.
Yep. Bring the concrete jungle.
That's it, it's coming towards the end of the season.
Yep. They even got Bathurst, what, 2 rounds off, so, and then there's
Yep,
Long Beach, so some good walls.
that's it.
Yeah, well, congrats, guys. And let you
Cheers, guys.
do your shout-outs as well, so over to you, Tim.
But remember, as always, it's Phoenix Driver Development, Melbourne Hydrographics Depot, DHF Tyres, RSW Graphics, HRS, and also a big shout out this week to ITP Australia, their awareness week this week. So big shout out to ITP Australia and New Zealand, also Bubbles and Balloons, and Aramex and Heatherton, Victoria.
Awesome, thanks,
If
Tim.
I forgot someone, I'm sure Laz will remind me.
And over to you, Stephen.
Just thanks to you, JT, putting on the league and doing all that you do behind the scenes. Thanks to my teammates at PER. Great bunch of lads to race with and be a part of. Our main sponsor, Lake Edge Holiday Units down Barril Lake on the south coast, New South Wales. W Energy Drinks. One Shot Pest Control in Ulladulla, can't forget Murray. And yeah, that's about it. And thanks to all the guys and girls that came out and raced tonight. And yeah, made it as fun as it was. So thanks, JT.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. And all the best next
Cheers,
week.
guys. Thanks, Gavin. See you next week.
Talk to you.
See you
See you, boys. Bye. See you, mate. Bye.
There we have podium finishers P2, Tim Mulford and Stephen Banks in P3. And then we will be heading over to do Road Atlanta full course for round 3. That's going to be another great race to witness. We've seen some great racing in these first 2 rounds of the series already, so it's only going to be showing that we're in for another good show next week. So if you haven't done so yet, be sure to hit the follow button so you can be notified when we go live. So we're going live again at 7:35 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time as next Monday for round 3 of the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship. A big thank you to all those tuned in. And then hopefully we'll see you again trackside next week. And also a big shout out to our sponsors and partners, Pagnian Advanced Simulation, Next Level Racing, Dubby, Fanatec, Stump Grinding, Central Coast, Razor and Chubby Buns Burgers. Thanks for joining us and see you next week.